Today, we're talking about something that's way more than just being smart or clever. We're going to dive into this biblical idea of wisdom, not as a dusty old concept, but as this dynamic, life-shaping force that can guide pretty much everything we do. So, let's jump right in.
So, let's start with the big question, right? What does it really mean to live wisely? And I'm not talking about, knowing a bunch of facts or winning a trivia night. The Bible presents wisdom as something way, way deeper. It's like a new lens for seeing the world, seeing life through God's truth, and then letting that totally change the choices you make every single day. This little chart nails the difference perfectly. See, knowledge is just collecting facts. It's the what. But wisdom, that's the skill of actually applying that truth to your life. It's knowing the how and, maybe most importantly, the why. You can think of it like a bridge that connects what's in your head to how you actually live your life.
To really get our heads around this, here's the roadmap for our journey today. First, we'll nail down what true wisdom even is. Then, we'll find its foundation. After that, we'll see it in action in some incredible stories, figure out how to use it in our own lives, see how it gets sharpened through tough times, and finally, wrap it all up by looking at what a life shaped by wisdom really looks like.
All right, first up, what is true wisdom? This is all about moving past just collecting information and getting to a much, much deeper understanding of the world, seeing everything through a really specific, foundational lens.
So, where does this kind of wisdom even come from? Well, it turns out it all rests on one single foundational principle. This is the starting line. It's the absolute core that everything else flows from. And here it is, straight from the book of Proverbs. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Now, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. In the Bible, this is presented as the non-negotiable starting point for anyone who's serious about finding real, lasting wisdom. But hold on, what does fear of the Lord actually mean? This is so important. It's not about being scared or terrified of God. Not at all. It's about a profound sense of awe, of reverence. It's about recognizing God's authority, His perspective, His moral clarity. And this is the foundation, because it completely reorients our whole viewpoint. Instead of starting with ourselves and our own limited ideas, we start by acknowledging a reality that's way bigger than us. That humility is what brings true perspective.
Okay, so with that foundation of reverence in place, what does it actually look like in real life? The best way to see wisdom isn't in some abstract theory, but in the messy, complicated lives of real and often very imperfect people. Let's take Solomon. The guy was given this incredible gift of discernment, but look at how he used it to pursue justice. His wisdom wasn't just some party trick for his own benefit. It was a tool for finding the truth and bringing fairness to his entire nation.
And then there's Joseph. The guy was betrayed, thrown in prison, yet he didn't just survive. He used incredible insight, patience, and moral guts. His wisdom ended up guiding an entire nation through a devastating famine. It just goes to show how foresight and integrity can literally change history. And you've got to look at Daniel. Talk about pressure. He's facing these huge worldly threats, but he combines his knowledge with this unwavering devotion. His story is just this brilliant example of how real wisdom doesn't buckle under pressure, it actually thrives on faithfulness. Now, these stories are amazing, but wisdom isn't just for ancient kings and prophets in high-stakes situations. This next part is all about bringing these huge principles down to our modern, everyday lives. This is where it gets super practical.
Think of the book of Proverbs as a practical playbook for life's realities. Our relationships, our work, the way we talk to people. It tells us to speak the truth, yeah, but to do it with love. It pushes us to get advice before making a big move and to choose mercy over just looking out for ourselves. It's basically a roadmap for getting through life with integrity.
So how do we actually do this when we're in the moment? Well, the whole process of wise discernment can really be broken down into 3 simple actions. Number 1, pause and reflect, instead of just reacting. Number 2, seek counsel. Talk to people you trust. And number 3, act with integrity, making sure what you do actually lines up with what you believe. It's a clear, repeatable process for making better choices.
But what happens when things get really hard? Let's be honest, wisdom isn't just learned when things are calm and we're studying. A lot of the time, it's forged and proven in the fire of life's biggest challenges. This is all about how struggle actually makes our understanding deeper. Just look at these examples. Job gained this profound insight through unimaginable suffering. David learned the real weight of discernment by wrestling with his own massive failures and guilt. And Peter, impulsive, flawed Peter, he grew through his mistakes to become a rock of the faith. Their wisdom wasn't found by avoiding hardship, but in the honesty and humility that happened right in the middle of it.
So let's pull all these different threads together in our final section, a life shaped by wisdom. This isn't just about one decision here or there. It's about how faith, our own insight, and our impact on other people all weave together to create a whole way of life. And this chart shows the beautiful balance of a wise life perfectly. Notice how faith and reverence make up the biggest piece. That's that foundational fear of the Lord we talked about. But it's not alone. It's integrated with our own personal insight and has a huge focus on our impact on the community. This just shows that true wisdom is never, ever just for us. It's meant to have a ripple effect on everyone around us.
So, if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Wisdom isn't some trophy you win and then put on a shelf. It's not a certificate you hang on the wall. It's something that has to be lived out, practiced, and applied every single day. It's an active, ongoing process.
And that really just leaves us with one final, personal question. As we've seen, wisdom is something that's offered to us, not forced on us. So as we wrap this up, the real invitation is for you to reflect. How are you going to let these principles shape your path?